As if the Yankees weren't scary enough, Jason Dominguez is hitting .315 with 4 home runs and a .940 OPS in AAA. Gerrit Cole, speaking of another guy who's coming back from rehab, he just threw his first rehab game. He was nearly perfect. So in the next few weeks, the Yankees are going to be adding Jason Dominguez to that lineup and Gerrit Cole to the rotation. My God. So again, you're telling me the Yankees get to drop Trent Grisham for Jason Dominguez. Gerrit Cole is going to be back in the rotation. Gleyber's hitting home runs. And Judgy, he's still roping doubles. What is this team? Gleyber's up to 5 home runs. Judgy, he now owns an MLB best, I think an MLB best 21 doubles. It's either him or Alec Boehm. He's on pace for 50 doubles, 55 home runs, a 10.7 F4. Oh, by the way, the Yankees, they also have the AL Rookie of the Year frontrunner, 6 shutout and 1 base hit for Luis Gil. I think his nickname is pretty fun. They call him the Gila Monster. He's got a 1.8 ERA and a 3.9 hits per 9. He's not even allowing 4 base hits per 9 innings. He also has an 11 strikeouts per 9. This is cool though. The Minnesota Twins, they got smacked, but I'm just happy to see Royce. He's back in there. He's tattooing baseballs. He's got 2 home runs and 3 at-bats this year, and dating back to his first season as a rookie in 72 career games, he's hitting .315 with 19 home runs and a 161 OPS plus. And this is also pretty cool. A Stantonian blast. Giancarlo, he goes to the second deck for his 15th home run. He's got 9 home runs and 16 RBIs over his last 22 starts. This 2024 Yankees team has a chance. Not just a chance to win, but to be an all-timer. Sorry if it sounds like I'm rushing to begin today's recap. We're not going to have an intro, and we're going to kind of speed run through this because my computer crashed mid-edit. I lost everything, so we're doing this a second time. I'm sorry. The Orioles put on an offensive clinic versus the Jays yesterday, and as a baseball fan, it was a lot of fun to watch. Sorry, Jays fans, for saying that. But Adley, when he's driving in runs and Mountcastle's hitting tanks, it's hard to beat the Orioles, and again, as a baseball fan, it's fun to watch. Mountcastle had a monster night. Every time Adley had an RBI single, Ryan apparently wanted to show him up and go yard. That was his second home run, 445 feet. And check this out. Since May 23rd, Mountcastle's hitting .390 with 11 RBIs over his last 11 starts. Anthony Santander, he secured an RBI extra base hit of his own. Baltimore was up 8-0 for Corbin Burns, who just struck out his 5th Blue Jay of the night. Now, George Springer did tag him, which is nice for Jays fans. Hopefully, he can get going. But Corbin, he locked back in. He got Varsho to weekly fly out to end his night. Connor Norby, welcome to the show. He's never once been outside the country of the United States. And would you look at that? His first ever hit and home run come in another country. That's kind of fun. So we're going to skip all the way to the 8th in this Brewers and Phillies game because Alec Boehm, he finally got his team on the board with the home run. He was stuck at 49 RBIs for a while, and with one swing, it's a brand new game. Now, the Brewers got a few runners on moments later, but lucky for Philly fans, Matt Strahm, he is that guy. He gets out of it with any damage. The dude has a 0.72 ERA. Trevor McGill, he fanned a few in the 9th, and then he walked Bryce Harper. He wanted to avoid him. He gets to face Alec Boehm, who's been red hot, but we call this a Louisiana Bayou, 100 miles an hour past Alec Boehm to force extras. Sal Frelick, he bounced one to Bryson Stott, and Bryson made a perfect throw home. He led JT into that tag. The crowd was chanting. I don't know what they were chanting, but they straight up sounded like Uruk-hai in Lord of the Rings, or orcs as we call them. Joey Ortiz, he popped up, and Nicky Two Bags, he wins it. Castellanos, he earned that nickname after hitting 58 doubles back in 2019. He wins it on his 349th two-bagger of his career. He's one away from 350 doubles. Game number 1 of the crosstown series between the White Sox and the Cubs. Morel kind of hosed Shota in the 4th inning. He whiffed on a DeYoung chopper. It could have been a tap to base, throw to first for a double play. Corey Lee, he's proving that he's not a 4A player, someone who's too good for AAA but sucks in the big leagues. He's always raked in AAA, but the Astros gave up on him. Lennon Sosa, kind of the same story. He's hitting .285 with 32 home runs in 144 AAA games. He's kind of been bad at the big league level, but both he and Corey Lee can be serious threats. Now, after the rain delay, the White Sox had to experience what Cleveland fans felt in 2016. It seems like rain delays give the Cubs magical powers. Dansby, that's an RBI double. Morel, he made up for his 4th inning mistake. He goes deep for a 2-run home run. They're still down by 2. Patrick Wisdom, he steps in as a pinch hitter, and with one swing, it's tied up. Wrigley was going nuts, and now I get to go nuts because I have so many rookie cards of Luis Robert Jr. He went 450 feet in his first game back off the IL. La Pantera is so good. The White Sox, they then lost the lead on a double from Ian Happ. Belly and Morel both come around to score. Duke Ellis, I don't know who that is, but his position is literally pinch runner. He has one job, and he got picked off after taking way too many leadoff steps. Hector Neris then got Corey Julks to pop up. That's a yikes job from the White Sox. So because we just brought up 2016 and Cleveland, I got to talk about them beating the Royals. I think that's only fair. Bobby Witt Jr., though, in the first half of this game, he channeled his inner Mike Trout before channeling his inner Ahmed Rosario later on in the game. So stay tuned for that. But his first home run went 434 feet. The second, how about a 455-foot moonshot for his second home run in the last 2 frames? He's hitting .319 with 11 home runs, 17 stolen bases, 46 RBIs, which is 12 less than this guy, J-Ram. That's an RBI single, but 2 more than this guy, Josh Naylor. He sat back and he crushed that thing to left field. Seth Lugo, he was trying his best to go 7, and oh my, Tyler Freeman, he strut on it as well. He knew it was gone off the bat. He's got 5 home runs and 8 stolen bases. I'm so happy that he replaced Miles Straw. And Ahmed Rosario, thank goodness he's gone, because he did stuff like this on the regular. Bobby Witt Jr. just missed second base and then he threw it away. So Bobby had 4 RBIs on the night, but he gave up 3 on that play right there, and then he struck out to end it. Class A, he now has 19 saves and a .3 ERA. He just turned 26 years old. He just joined Craig Kimbrell as the only 2 closers ever to have 130 saves and a sub-2 ERA through their age 26 season. So you're looking at history, guys. So before we show off a few 8-5 ball games, the Dodgers got shut out in Pittsburgh. This home run right here was the game's only run. Jack Sawinski, he gave Jared Jones and the pen all that they needed. Glasnow, he was still really good. He shoved despite the fact that he gave up 1 run. He became the first pitcher in the big leagues to 100 strikeouts and even got some payback against Jack Sawinski. Jared Jones, he went 6 shutout with 6 strikeouts. He got Hayward on 99 upstairs later in the game. Glasnow, he kept on carving. He left with 9 punch-outs over 6. But again, even though Aroldis Chapman thought that he completely blew the game with a tank, he tossed his glove. He got Pages with 101, and Kutch, he was making fun of Aroldis in the dugout. Bednar, he's been much better as of late. He now has 12 saves, and over his last month, I think it is, he has 7 saves, a 1.3 ERA, but the scary part is the strikeouts have really dipped. That could be a problem going forward. Alec Burleson kickstarted this game versus the Astros with another first-inning solo home run, but here comes Houston. 2 groundouts put the Astros up 1. When Jeremy Pena fully woke up the Astros, he doubled in Bregman right before Yainer Diaz smoked another multi-RBI home run. He now has 2 home runs and 5 RBIs over the last 24 hours. That 6th run proved to be the winner, even though St. Louis did jolt a few taters of their own. Mason Wynn, this kid is hitting .310 with 3 home runs and a 130 OPS plus. Anything that Nolan Gorman touches, it seems like it's leaving. Like gravity is just turned off whenever he's in the dish. Dubon, he was pretty upset with the fan for getting in his way, but to be honest with you guys, that's kind of fair game for a fan. That ball was over the fence and he didn't really lean over. Ryan Presley finally got his first save of the 2024 season. It's probably going to be one of his last because he was replaced by Josh Hader. He has a 5 ERA, and I kind of feel bad that he lost this job considering he has a 0 ERA in the playoffs the last 3 years, but I guess when you can get Josh Hader, you got to get him. The Diamondbacks almost put up 10 as well. Blaze Alexander, he got it past Casey Schmidt, and both he and Jake McCarthy are really fast, so they can take the extra base. Kevin Newman, he hit it off the glove of Matt Chapman. Both Jake and Blaze come around to score, so that hustle really paid off big time. Blaze, he's up again. He had an RBI of his own in the 4th inning, and the Diamondbacks, they kind of just took over from there. And I mean, it took until the 7th inning, but they scored 8 on the day, not one of them on a home run ball. Gabriel Moreno, he singled in 1. Lourdes, he doubled home 2. Lourdes has been on fire lately. Marte and Gabby, they trot home. Randall Grichuk, he made it 8-2 on another RBI, but was it enough? Mike Yastrzemski, he got 3 back. He has 6 home runs, 24 RBIs. I keep forgetting that he's older. He's almost 34, 35 years old. Paul Sewald is perfectly okay with that because now it's a save opportunity. He strikes out 2 for his 6th save. The Snakes, they've won 4 games in a row. And because of that, they do gain even more ground on the Padres because they fell to the mighty Angels. The Halos, they did a great job to bounce back. Luis Rengifo, he's been a demon since the second half of last year. He's hitting .333 over his last 80 games, which is crazy. Patrick Sandoval, he was really good again, so back-to-back kind of good starts. He got some help from Adele as he dashed in to make a grab. He got Arise looking at a painted fastball that probably could have been called a ball, but it was called a strike. Adam Mazur, if I botched that, I'm sorry. He was making his debut. The rookie struck out 2, and he held the Halos to 1 run, so it's 1-1 after 6 because of Patrick Sandoval's and Mazur's efforts. When Zach Neto, he clutched up. He drove in 2 on a double. It's a 4-1 game after a wild pitch, so the Padres, they're threatening with the Cronenworth RBI single. Hunter Strickland, he came in. He got Kim to pop up, and Carlos Estevez, he had a 1-2-3 9th inning. Carlos now has 10 saves, and the Angels, they're winners of 2 in a row. So there used to be a Boston Braves, but then they became the Milwaukee Brewers, and because of that, both Boston and the Braves were kind of freed up, and the Braves were playing in Boston yesterday. fun facts from Fuzzy. Chris Sale got a standing ovation. He won a chip with the Red Sox back in 2018. I'm happy that Red Sox fans know that he got traded. He didn't just leave. Atlanta got their first 2 runs on some bad Boston defense, and after Dom Smith and Bobby Dahlbeck actually stole the lead back, Dom on a home run, Bobby on a 2-run single, Sean Murphy, he ties it up. I'm so happy that he's back and healthy, at least for the time being. Ozzy, goodbye. Ozzy's up to 4 home runs and 29 RBIs. Arcia, he drove one out as well. That ball was hammered the other way. Now, Max Fried did give up a few runs, but only 2 of them were earned. And oh, by the way, he struck out 13. He's a free agent after the season. He has a 2.7 ERA since 2020. So yeah, he's going to get paid. Come on, guys. I just said Sean Murphy was back and healthy. Look at the instant swelling on his elbow. He came out as a precaution. I think that he's going to be okay. The x-rays were negative. Michael Harris, he tacked on the game's final run for either team. The Braves, they went easy. They're 10 games over 500. Brian De La Cruz gave Miami a jump start with a solo home run, and the Marlins, they actually went up 3 after Josh Bell and Otto Lopez drove in a few. And with Jesus Luzardo on the bump, Miami is looking... Oh, wait, Brandon Lau just pulled a 3-run tater. Brandon Lau is so good. And then Jose Siri, he stole the lead on a double. And man, the Rays, they took out all of their early season frustrations on the Marlins. Isaac Paredes, he peppered one for 2 more RBIs. Lau, he secured a huge 5 RBI night with another RBI extra base hit. Don't forget, Brandon has a career 125 OPS plus. The guy can swing it. Now, the Marlins did load them up against Phil Maton, who has been Phil Matoff all year. He's not been great at all. But Pete Fairbanks, he was deployed. He slams the door with 2 big strikeouts and a ground out. That's a 7th save. The Rays, they're doing better lately. I'll give them that. The Mets won pretty easy despite the fact that it was a 6-3 score. Harrison Bader, he got the Mets on the board with a 2-run blast off of DJ Hers. His debut started off pretty well, but then he kind of ran out of gas. Pete Alonso beat out what would have been a sick play from Nick Senzel. Nimmo, he went back up the gut for a single, and Marte, he brought them both home with a 3-bagger. Hertz was out the game at that point, so Derek Law, he could not help strand those runners. Starling's got 2 triples on the season, and he scores on a Mark Vientos sac fly. Pete, more money to animal shelters. Remember, $1,000 to animal shelters for every single home run that Pete hits. He's got 14 on the year. That was 446 feet, by the way. Reed Gerrit, he allowed another run, but he eventually does get the save. It's a scary final out. Marte, he's not happy with Bader. They're probably just goofing around. The Mets and the Rays have both won 2 games in a row. I think the Tigers have also won 2 in a row coming into this one, and this 2-run home run was basically all Detroit needed. McKinstry, he owns Dane Dunning, and Riley Green, he got one to go as well in the 5th inning. He has 11 home runs. Break out the pizza celebration. Pizza, sorry. Jack Flaherty was terrific. He tossed 5 shutout on 2 base hits before he had to leave with back tightness. He has a 3.2 ERA and an AL best 94 strikeouts. What an offseason move from the Tigers. Also a big confidence booster for Tigers fans getting Shelby Miller. He's back from the IL. He struck out 2 in the 8th. Their pen is just stupid. The only way that the Rangers could score was via a defensive miscue. Jason Foley, I keep forgetting how to say his last name. I'm sorry. He bared down to get Wyatt Langford on a wicked sinker. That ball started kind of middle of the plate, ended up at his kneecaps. Big league sinkers are insane. The Tigers, they won 3 in a row. So yesterday I said if Frankie Montas gets going, watch out for the Reds. And the dude had a no-hitter through 5 or 6 innings. Spencer Steer and Ellie, they gave Frankie an early lead. Steer, he doubled in Fairchild. And by the way, I guess Fairchild has a famous TikTok girlfriend. I see their videos all the time on my feed. Anyways, Ellie, he just went 450 versus a lefty. He has 10 home runs and 32 stolen bases. He's really cooled off since he stole 4 bags a couple weeks ago. He's hitting 132 since that game. Cincy, they got their final 2 runs in the 4th off the bats of Maley and Fairchild. They both got a run in on a single. Frankie Montas, he said, I got the rest of this. His splitter and fastball combination was disgusting. Elias Diaz, he ruins the no-hitter, but Montas, he did not really care that much. He goes 7 innings with 9 strikeouts. The Rockies, they got 1 on a Rogers double later in the game, but they lose 4-1. Cincy, they've won 8 of their last 11. George Kirby was great as well, but before we show him, JP Crawford and Josh Rojas, they both found some holes for extra base hits, but JP could not score. He had to wait to see if that would drop. Not on that one either. Okay, there we go. Ty France, he cracks the code for a 2-run. And then Luke Raley, he turned his hips for the 4th double of the inning for the Mariners. Dylan Moore, he singled. He then stole second base. He eventually got to 3rd. He scores after Josh Rojas collected his 3rd hit of the day. All while George Kirby, he had 9 strikeouts over 5, but he did need 94 pitches to do so. So he's out after allowing 2 on 5 base hits, but again, 9 punch outs is pretty fun. Shea grounded out for an RBI. Again, that run is credited to George Kirby. what is going on? Munoz, he threw it away. Max Schumann, he scores to make it 4-3. Munoz, he has to leave the game, but luckily Saucedo, he came in and he got Brent Rooker. The Mariners, they won 4 games in a row. They have a 5.5 game lead over the, I almost said Mariners. They have a 5.5 game lead over the Rangers. They can't have a lead over themselves. I know that was a speed run, but I'm glad that I was able to get it done for you guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. Be safe and check out the web gems.
De Los Santos and a one-hopper picked by Cam. He goes to second. Out there.
Alex Jackson grounds one to shortstop. Anderson from deep in the hole gets him.
Hit hard, gloved by Mendick, and he makes the play.
To right center, charging Springer. He did it again.
First major league pitch. It is line to left field and diving in left is
Ball's hit sharply to third.
That time.
Alec Bohm with a nice strike. He probably could have settled even more.
Yeah.
Line drive, swats and picks it up with a short hop and starts